Yeah, your boy got heated last week. Sorry, folks. For those of you who are looking for the entire podcast on YouTube via the video, you'll get some content mainly from our legal correspondent in Asking for a Friend, Adam. Outside of that, no. I have a brand new keyboard as a result of my temper, as a result of not being able to upload or copying pasting wrong video files with the same name to a. I learned a lot. I learned what I'm not supposed to do, and mainly it has to do with not trying to edit this stuff when I'm drunk. I think I just need to do the audio, come back the following morning, and then do the video.
Yeah, so it's a wise decision. You learned something there, and look, you got a new keyboard out of the whole scenario. But I want to ask you this, because when you started texting me at 1 a.m, I knew there was a problem, and I thought I was kind of sort of hoping that just you texting me was going to be, your cathartic kind of reasoning to not smash something. And then you did smash something. So how did you feel after breaking the keyboard?
Well, here's the thing. The keyboard, one of the, I call them flippers or stands, if you will. One of those was broken because, in all honesty, it was a $9 or $8 piece of shit that I quickly bought because I was having trouble with my wireless prior to this. No, I didn't smash that. I was legitimately having problems with the USB transmitter. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going wired. All right, I'm not wasting any more AA batteries. It's just a straight wired keyboard. One of those flippers on the wired keyboard broke a couple weeks ago. So I was pretty much, it was flat and causing myself some carpal tunnel because it was, it's like the angle of it was a little funky. So I don't feel nearly as bad about it. But yeah, I got to knock off those fucking temper tantrums for no good reason. Because I ended up spilling beer on fucking notes and things that I have over here. My cell phone got dinged up a little bit. There is a smudge on the door over there from what the hell did I throw over there? Oh, mouse. Sorry, I forgot to mention. I have a new mouse as a result. Mouse got broke too. Because that actually is a result of I needed new USB. I have like 8 USB ports on this puppy. One of them is a little bit faulty. So,
it's like, it's your computer's Russian roulette with Wesley's fucking demeanor, right?
Yeah, great. It's a good point.
I'm with you then. I'm a breaker. I usually swing things like that's. There's usually a bat around, and I usually swing that. Or yeah, well, I don't like that. Just the act of swinging it very hard is enough aggression let out. Sometimes Wes has seen me. I've baseball swung a wedge into the woods on a golf course once. Yeah. So yeah, just quick or throw if I could throw some things. I threw a golf ball into the woods last weekend. Because I double bogeyed a par 5 and I was furious about it.
That's fine though. I mean, a golf ball, Titleist was like a $3 golf ball. You threw $3 in the woods. Who cares? I mean, but that's reasonable. That's outside. That's nature. You're probably not going to hurt anybody. You're actually on a place where balls are flying at 150 miles an hour all the time anyway. It's kind of like a reasonable, in my opinion, response to a sports hazard.
Yeah. I have always had a little bit of a temper streak. Not bad, not enough to where I think I'm like a danger. As a matter of fact, out in public, I'm a little more passive than the average Joe. Most of it has to do with just me being pissed off at something I did myself. So therefore, some inanimate object is going to take the brunt end of my me being pissed off. But I was a kid. We were playing tennis in front of my parents' house. We had set up bikes as a net. All right, tennis. We had these old fucking wooden rackets. Christ, I don't even remember, like Billie Jean King specials, and neighborhood kid. Murr, you know him. I'm not gonna name any names, but me and him were going at it verbally, and he just crow hopped, point blanked a tennis ball in the middle of my back. Bam! And it stung. I didn't have a shirt on. It was summertime, so I just reared back and Hank Aaron this wooden racket into his hip and smashed the frame. Smashed the wooden frame on this kid's hip, yeah. And my parents talked about sending me to an anger management coach, or talked about getting me regular sessions with the school guidance counselor.
Oh, that would have been bad.
I was legitimately bawling, not uncontrollably, but in tears. Like, do you guys think I'm really that bad? My mom's like, you just broke a tennis racket over a kid's hip. Yeah, I think so.
Dude, I mean, but in a way, I kind of envy you guys because I'm an internalist. Like, I don't fly out in like these rage-filled. Like, I've only punched a wall one time, and that's because I couldn't contain anymore. But I have I don't even know how you describe it. Not held my breath, but that where I have like burst the blood vessels in my eyes, like veins like wanting to shoot out of my skin. I recently I got into such a workout addiction to relieve the stress of work that I've basically soured my own insides, and I have had more doctor's visits in the last 3 months than I have in the last like 15 years.
See, that you raised a good point though, holding it in. That shit pickles your insides, man. You gotta get that anger out. It's no fucking good.
Yeah.
You gotta throw things and break things. Inanimate things and in safe areas, not like don't harm family members or pets or anything. Just break a keep.
Well, check this out, Wes. So I had to go to a open house for my kids' elementary school tonight, and
so hold on. I thought it wasn't like parents' night. Has it changed? Is that a little different itinerary?
Check this out. So they didn't specify in the email like who was supposed to be coming. So I figure open house, meet the teacher. Let's go. Me, the wife. My mom wanted to go. She watches my kid a lot. I'm like, yeah, you're involved in his academics, so the three of us will go. We go, and I'm looking around the parking lot, and I look at my mom. I'm like, there's a lot of kids here. She's like, wow. My mom was a teacher for 30 years, and she was like, well, we didn't like the kids to come because they just make a fuss, and then we can't discuss the serious things. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right, but maybe they didn't have babysitters. We keep going in. Every fucking kid in the school is there except for mine. And I get up to the principal. I'm like, hey, we were under the impression that this was just parents, so can I run back and get my kid? And he's like, oh, yeah, you got about 20 minutes. I have never gone that fast I've gone that fast on Dr. Jack before, but not since I was like in my 20s. Oh, I made it and back before that 20 minutes was up. And I got my kid, and we went, and they took you around to the different rooms. They have like a Zen room. When kids get in trouble now for being angry or fussing or there's an altercation, they don't send them to the office. They send them to the Zen room. Wes, I walked in there and it smells of lavender. There's an aromatherapy fucking like genie lamp like blowing out mist in the corner. There's these nets that come down from the ceiling like so you can go isolate yourself and just hang out. There's giant fucking like cushy like beanbag chairs for them to relax on. There's like gels over the light so it's not bright in there. And I'm just thinking, would Wesley Fox have benefited from this room?
I gotta say, here, just not necessarily answering your question about whether or not I would have benefited from this. Usually, I think like most generations before us and now the current generation of kids that are going through elementary and middle school, you're quick to judge and say, oh, it was right when I was in school. That's the way it should have been done. I gotta tell you, I do criticize some shit that I've heard. Mainly, was it the Common Core math and some of the other nonsense that goes on with administration. This doesn't sound that bad. I kind of dig this. I kind of like this. Get in there and calm down. Lower your heart rate, lower your blood pressure, get your shit together, and when you're ready to return and learn some long division, come on back.
Yeah. I tell you, they could have probably used the Zen Room or 5 at a fucking all-boys high school. I can tell you that much.
One in every sector.
Yeah, just one on every floor. Just throw fucking dudes in there. Yeah, a lot of pent-up adolescent testosterone.
I was going to say, there should be a beat-off room or two. Just, get some carbon off of it.
Gross, but yeah.
I was going to go there, but then I was going to say, maybe a room like filled with like Mike Tyson clips so you can kind of like, channel the aggression and anger to somebody who's much better at it than you. And you're like, all right, maybe I'm not that bad of a motherfucker as I thought I was. But but there's also a teacher that stays in that room all day. And if the kids are really unruly or really need to get some stress out, she gets down on the mats with them and does yoga in the middle of the school day until they are of the sound mind to just simply return to school. So it honestly, it's an in-between step between disciplinary action and giving you a chance to just chill the fuck out. Like, maybe you just need 5 minutes and everything will be fine again. And yeah, like you said, it's the first like foo-foo, like new age bullshit that I've seen in a school. And I'm like, this makes sense. Yeah. This makes sense.
Or if it doesn't work, then try something new. At least they're trying something else. At least they're going a different route. You know,
it's definitely good for little kids. You touched on it, Mur. Like, I mean, think about your adult self and your adolescent self. Like, you'd fly off the handle, or or maybe you didn't. But Wes, the teenage Wes, flying off the handle, and nowadays he gives himself, but he does it. You could still see the visible rage in his exhales. But he does it, and he doesn't break something. And I think that's what you're aiming at with these kids. You know what I mean? They too, like myself and Wes, don't have the emotional intelligence to handle our rage. So they're children, though, and we're adults. So give them a place to kind of wind it down, And then the kid who's going to be a dick is going to be a dick in the Zen room, too. You know what I mean? I'll kick over your crystals. I don't care.
Yeah,
if I'm angry enough.
That's kind of
them to the office and I get detention.
That's kind of what I was thinking about. Just like when I was in elementary school, the kid who abused the nurse. I don't feel well just to get out. You're going to have people who abuse, and I'll call it the Zen room. It might be something else, but you're gonna have the wise asses who abuse that. Like, I'm so angry. Like, you're not angry. You just want to go to the fucking Zen room and chill out on a beanbag for 20 minutes. Well, yeah. So that's what I fear.
I think the little kids are maybe they're not quite like skilled enough mentally to do that gymnastic flip to get to that room. And it's called the Wellness Center, by the way. Yeah.
That sounds right.
That's fine. So when I was in elementary school, I had a brother who was in middle school, and I found it kind of shocking that by that point, recess is done. It's like, oh yeah, you get to middle school, man, there's no recess. You get gym, but then you gotta, sometimes you don't have gym. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, you can't go outside and play some kickball, play some Foursquare. They take that away from you. That might be one of these things when you step up, get to middle school. Like, hey, look, there's no more wellness center, kids. Time to knuckle down and grow up. Figure out what you want to be in your life.
By the way, some more jealousy from my end here. They get a minimum of 2 recesses a day, and 2 days a week they get 3 recesses a day.
Wow. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Is the day longer? Are they there like 6 to 6 or something?
No, they just learned from how fucked up we became. They realized, like, oh yeah, these kids need to go burn off some energy. I was so dyslexic when I was a kid that I had to stay inside during recess to finish the work that I hadn't completed during class time. And so they were like, well, when you finish, you can come out. I never finished before they came back in.
That actually reminds me, because we would do this is the beauty of this is the beauty of like late 80s, early 90s elementary schooling. You'd have a morning's worth of work, you'd have lunch, and then they'd send you out for recess. So what's the perfect thing to do after you've loaded up on carbs and sugar and everything? Get out there and run it off, digest while you're exercising. It's a tried and true method. Much like you, Murr, there was a period where not very long, but I had to make everything perfect. The handwriting had to be perfect, math had to be triple checked, and I spent a few recesses in there. And it was one of those classes that looked out on the recess center, and you sit there and you're like, damn. And finally, I was just like, fuck it, bad handwriting, math might not be the best. I'm getting out there. Kickball it is, brother.
Yeah, I remember. Just speaking of like actually getting out to a recess, I remember it was right after lunch. We played Duck Duck Goose, and I was going to track Jacob Thomas down before he got to my seat, and I shit myself a little bit.
That'll happen.
We had a kid, buddy. I went to actually saw him not too long ago at my 20 year reunion. They had these like stack of windows that were like six windows tall with frame between it. It went from like 4 feet up to as high as the high as the ceiling in the bathroom. But the first 3 windows were like fogged out. That way you didn't have peeping toms looking in the bathroom, seeing what was going on. And it had a little ledge on it. And I dared this kid to run up and jump on it just so he could see out through the clear windows and see what was going on during recess. Well, he slipped and his face went through a window. Cut himself up a little bit, but
nice.
Wasn't too bad. But I remember he was holding his hand over his face. We were walking down and I was like, look, man, no one saw us. No one saw us. Shit's cool. Shit's straight, man. Just be cool. We'll get to this other bathroom and get a little paper towel on there. We'll be good. And he was like, well, how's it look? And he had not nasty gashes, but 2 pretty good sizable cuts, one above his eyelid and one on his cheek. And I was like, oh, yeah, we ain't getting away with this. We're fucked.
Just tell him I punched you.
Yeah, just tell him, yeah, here on the other side, pow. Yeah, well.
I'll go sit in the wellness center for a few minutes. Everything will be fine.
That's right. We'll do some yoga. Damn, the wellness center. I'm jealous. Good for them. Wait, so young William is kindergarten? First grade? First grade.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I did want to ask, when you went to pick him up in a steaming heap, did he put up much of a fuss? Like, wait, what? I got to go to the school? Or was he like, oh, yeah, let's go?
Yeah, and he just jumped in and was ready to rock. He likes it. I mean, he's too young to know how tragic this experience is going to be for the next 12 years.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Middle Classholes, everyone. Foxman, Allen, and Murr. Man, I had a great weekend. Was up in Fenway Park, first time in Boston. Then got back in time for the Ravens game. Actually invited Allen. He was like, "Nah, man, I gotta be up in DC all early. Can't do that."
I had to be in DC early as fuck. I really regret that almost immediately.
It's a good. I mean, like I live walking distance to the stadium, and I walked in my front door like just after midnight. So. Just for a frame of reference, it would have taken you forever to get the fuck out of here. You could have crashed on the couch, but
yeah. But then I would have been all jacked up. I probably would have still smelled like booze. So I wouldn't have gone to sleep until like 2.
Here's the thing: primetime NFL games they stop. So that's Sunday night and Monday Night Football, presumably, if it's in your home city or wherever you're watching your favorite team, they stop selling booze at halftime.
Ugh.
Sucks, kind of.
I know. I was in. Well, it's when halftime ends. So the start of the third quarter, and I was 3 people back at a beer vendor, and this stadium official comes up and goes, "Nope, nope, new NFL rules." Like, NFL rules? Who? And I was like, "Well, look, why don't you just stand behind the person that's like 3 people behind me? We were in line. We should be able to get grandfathered in. I want one more beer, man." One more give me a fucking beer. You want to fucking go? But it was so I kind of semi-sobered up and sobered up a lot after the end of that game. Jesus Christ.
That sucks, man. That sucks. No, if you're in line, they should let you get your last 6 beers. They should let you spend your last $150.
That's right. You can only get 2 at a time, but
or at least drop the price on a water. Like, if you're going to cut me off, then don't charge me $7 for a 20-ounce Dasani.
Good point.
That's, that'd be at least a decent trade-off. Like, if you're going to force sober me, don't fuck me. Like,
no, because if I'm not getting any more beer, I'm definitely not putting water in there to fucking drown it all out. No. We're not diluting what alcohol's already in my system.
Well, I had to go back in line to get a Coca-Cola because I had bought a soft pretzel. And I wasn't going to eat a fucking, kosher salt coated pretzel with mustard with nothing to wash it down with. So I got a Coca-Cola. They're okay. I wanted a Miller Lite, 16-ouncer preferably. But
you were probably better off with the Coke.
At that point, man, God, it was wild. That leaving that place was mayhem. And I got to say, anyone who's a baseball fan, either casually, passively, or a fanatic, go, if you haven't been, go to Fenway Park. It is a bucket list item that's well worth it. Go up a little bit early, get yourself something to eat. It was a great time and a beautiful little kind of borough of that city. Never been to Boston before. It was fun. It was fun. The Wheels got their ass kicked. The fans were nice. I guess when you're 47 and 100, if you're not presenting much of
nobody cares.
Nobody gives a shit. Yeah.
They feel bad for you. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, look at those people.
Right.
They're impressed you made the journey.
Yeah. Your first time? Yeah, my first time. So we saved this one for you, Alan. You were at the actually at the Orioles game in a. Actually, how was that? The Orioles game concert combo. Yeah, it went 10 innings and then
to 10 innings. There's rain delay, right? I don't know. Fucking, it was long, and then the Avid brothers played, or the Avid brothers. Me and Murr don't know. It's one of the two. I can't vividly remember how they said it on stage. I think it's Avid brothers. I'm going with Avid brothers.
So but
it was good, man. It was a good show.
Where did they wheel out a stage over the pitcher's mound, or did you?
Yeah, it was not pitcher's mound. I would say like right behind like second base.
Okay,
I guess. So right in the center of the field, and then like everybody could kind of move down and filter into the bowl and shit.
Yeah.
And they played Thank God I'm a Country Boy, which is kind of right up their alley with their all like bluegrassy Americana style. That shit was good. It's interesting to see live music in Camden Yards.
I was going to say, outside, I know that they've done a couple of those. I don't recall the musicians. Billy Joel did play there the year before COVID, sold out, and that was they're going to end up having to do more of those if this team is going to be this bad for the next two or three seasons. Murr's shaking his head. It is historically bad. It is red. Now, I'm not saying we would be much better in another division, but it doesn't help to play three teams that are vying for a wild card 19 times, and then Tampa, who's leading the division and the second best record in the American League. Just saying. When you play those teams just a shade under 80 times, 76 to be exact, that's a lot of losses.
Yeah, it's like the Browns suck, but they're also in the AFC North. You know what I mean? Like they just it's a bad rub of luck, unfortunately.
Yeah, but then you've got a team like Tampa Bay who just is in first place, and they have about the same market share as we do, and the same money, and the same probably different front office.
Probably less market and less money. Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well,
because they don't take their neighbors' money like we do.
That's it. They don't rob Peter.
We got one person and a half's money.
Mm-hmm. In a big market too.
Yeah, huge market.
That's right. So. That's going to end up. They're going to end up having to do something in order to get, because the Major League Baseball won't allow Baltimore to host another All-Star game because of that. And Peter Angel's like, well, I don't care. And there's going to come a crossroads with that. The city's just going to be like, come on, you fucking idiots, do something.
Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we should have had a fucking another All-Star game.
Dude, there's been I think 3 stadiums that have had All-Star games twice. Now, Colorado is a little bit different because Atlanta, they pulled the rug out of that because of that whole state legislature and voting thing. But though that Cleveland, I may be missing another one that have hosted it twice since we've hosted it once.
When did we do it? What was it? 92?
93.
93.
Yeah, the year after it opened.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
The year after we showed everybody how to build a stadium, we never got to show them what it looked like again.
That's right. So Alan, I was saying we saved this one for you because you had mentioned if we don't do this segment, you might quit the podcast. Which
that's right.
We'll send you to the Zen room if that's the case. Taco Bell is testing a new taco subscription with unlimited tacos for $5, and it shows how the fight over customer loyalty is heating up. So they say this is like subscription economy, and they're buying into this. And they say this is nothing new. Popeyes, Chili's, to name a few. I think I saw TGI Fridays. There's a couple of UK-based companies, but any customer who gets their hands on one of the Taco Lover Passes, which is what they're calling it. I love that name. Which will run anywhere from $5 to $10 depending upon location, is eligible for a free taco daily for 30 days. The trial went live September 9 at 17 participating locations in Tucson, Arizona, and will continue through November 24th, Taco Bell said. Your thoughts on Taco Lover Passes?
Sign me the fuck up. Give me one of the passes immediately. Yeah, man. A taco a day fuck, that's easy money, especially for $5 or $10. Because tacos aren't even 99 cents anymore; they're like $1.29. Fucking crooks.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
That and the thing with especially with a Taco Bell taco, you can't have just one. You can't just have one.
No.
You've probably paid like a third of the price for one taco, and you're going to go in and you're going to buy two more, and that's how they're going to make their money. And subscription services, I'm not saying they prey on people. We've got so much on. Everybody forgets to cancel the subscription. I don't sign up. I no longer sign up for free subscriptions because like the first 30 days free. Yeah, that's because the next 7 months are going to be fucking on my fucking credit card because I'm not going to remember to cancel. And I'm also going to forget about it. I think I'm still paying for Apple TV. I've never watched Apple TV.
Oh, you should. There's some good stuff on there. But yeah.
Well, I did see that Jon Stewart's coming back with the show, so I might hang out for that.
Some good stuff on there. We could talk.
You haven't seen Mandalorian? I mean, I haven't because I don't have Apple TV.
That's Disney Plus.
No, that's Disney Plus.
Okay. Shows what I know.
Yet another subscription service that I pay for.
You Bat Chamber? Fucking guy.
Go into the Millennium Eagle. Fly away. Actually, that's not true. I know Star Wars, all right, so easy. But, yeah, I think, more to piggyback off what you said about you can't just get one taco, I can get to a Taco Bell, but I got to kind of go out of my way a little bit. Depending upon either where I live or where I work, different towns. It's not right down the road. So if I'm going to make a trip to a Taco Bell, it's not a single taco. Yeah, I'll get that free taco, but I'll probably get two more. I'll probably get some cinnamon twists. They don't even have pintos and cheese anymore, but that's a travesty of the 20th century that just got overlooked by millions and probably billions. It fucking shatters me to the core.
The Taco Bell side that is often overlooked are the cheesy potato. It's like this little bowl. I don't even know what they're actually called. They're like these little crisp. It's like they quartered like little mini potatoes,
like home fries.
Okay. Fried them up, and then they dump that cheddar cheese sauce on top. They slather it in sour cream and throw some chives on there and say, good luck at your next blood test because this is going to fuck it all up and you're not going to care.
That those sound delicious. And now next time I'll make a point to grab some. Do you remember pintos and cheese?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
It was glorified refried beans that had some cheese on it and that's it. It was refried beans and kind of like a serving cup, probably the same cup that they use to serve this potato dish that you've talked about, with melted cheddar cheese on top of it. And I think it was 69 cents early on. Maybe went up to 79.
I tell you, it's a goddamn travesty. They had a quesarito recently. It was a promotional item, and they took it off the menu, and it is, man, it's a sad day. That's like. I would probably liken that as a Taco Bell aficionado to like the first time the McRib one way. You know what I mean? Like they blew your fucking mind, and then they were like, "Stike, taking it back."
Yeah. So, Taco Bell is notorious for that. They've been doing those with those shitty fries that they put out that are terrible.
They're terrible.
But they spend so much advertising getting like a good B-list celebrity that you wouldn't think would do a Taco Bell commercial to put together some quality entertainment. You're like, God damn it, I'm gonna go reward Taco Bell for this fun 30 seconds they gave me. and I don't know when the fries are gonna come back. So are they that bad? Is my memory correct? So it's like Taco Bell's really good at putting out shitty food and then stripping it away from you, saying you may never have this again.
I think
you'll go,
but they were just fries, you know. You don't want fries from Taco Bell. But this quesarito, man, we're talking about a burrito wrapped in a quesadilla. I don't think you guys are really grasping the magnitude.
I'm trying to think. Like, is it more burrito or quesadilla, or is it about?
So 50-50? It is what your meat of choice, rice, some cheese. I think it is. You know, it's not too much in there. It's just your basic like burrito. But then the casing of the burrito is not just a tortilla; it's like a thin cheese quesadilla, if that makes sense. So it's basically two. See.
Oh,
what I'm saying here.
Wow.
It's basically two big tortillas with some cheese in the middle, used to wrap steak or beef or chicken with rice and some shit.
Hey, go down.
Oh, I'll
Alan, no, can you go back to the screen share real quick? Because okay, down at the okay, now in the middle of the screen where the hand is the burrito all the way to your left.
Yeah.
Right. Nope. Down one. That one. Uh-huh. What is that monster that is being held in that poor woman's dainty hand?
Yo, that's a quesarito. I'm telling you.
Jesus, man. I got a burrito I didn't realize the burritos were so good at Taco Bell, and it must have been 1.5 pounds of just food. And I couldn't believe that they would sell you a product so weighty at a fast food place. I couldn't finish my day.
So when the quesaritos first came out, they were like $1.99 or something.
Wow.
And like, yeah, right. They and when they went up, they were like $4 or something, $4.50 or some shit like that. But anyway, when they first came out, they were like $1.99. And I think I got all sauced up one day, and I was like, "Babe," I was like, "You stop at Taco Bell, hook me up with like 17 quesaritos and a Baja Blast." And so, bless her heart, she obliged. She came back with a sack of quesaritos. And she was like, "Hey, did you know that these each weigh like 2 pounds?" And I was like, "No, I did not, because the first one I had wasn't that big." So yeah, it was like a 10-pound sack of just cheese and meat from Taco Bell.
You got the Baja Blast, right?
Alan,
you're like 2.
Alan, you are showing a passion that is rarely seen by an adult human of any kind. I do believe that if there is an opening, that you should apply for the research and development department of Yum Foods, subreddit Taco Bell.
Yes, the parent company of Taco Bell.
And see if you can design just some. That is the beauty of Taco Bell, is their willingness to try to innovate with the ingredients they have in house. Because there are real chefs that work on this stuff. I'm sure they don't like to put it on their resume. It's not like you're gonna get into like a Michelin star restaurant from being the fucking the lead cook at fucking Taco Bell,
the flavor innovator at Taco Bell. Yeah, probably.
But I watched a documentary, and Taco Bell has the Guinness Book World Record for most kitchen innovations. Like everything from like the single click sour cream squirter, down to the sand meat scooper that scoops out the perfect sand meat leveling for each of its products, just all the way down the line. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, think about that though. So, like someone just said, like, yeah, my buddy has a caulk gun. It seems to work really well. Let's just put some sour cream up in that sucker. Yeah.
Just put fucking mayonnaise in it. Put Chipotle ranch. It's fucking perfect. Just fucking sauce guns. No, there is a good. I'll have to send you the link. There's a good like when Conan was on TBS, and then he like spun it into that like just 2 chairs fucking like version of himself, like no longer the couch and Andy. It was just him and one other person. They did a bit where they went to a Taco Bell, like Taco Bell headquarters, and they literally have like rows of tasters, and they're all just fucking broke ass college kids, and they just feed them fake Mexican food through windows. It's like, you don't, it's mad impersonal. Like they don't offer human interaction. They're like, here, eat this quesadilla Bell, and they're like, yeah, fucking delicious, just fucking, and then they rate the shit. They're like, yeah, it could use a little bit of, could use a little bit of Chipotle ranch. Was that jalapeno stuff? Yeah, that stuff on there. Yeah, so I mean, I'd totally do that. Or do you one better? I'd be like the house fucking like Latino hobo. Like I would totally let them give me like a poncho and a sombrero and just a case of Modelo every day, and I would just walk around like talking in a bad Mexican accent and like slurring my words at people and just spilling quesadillas on myself. I think it would be a fucking a morale boost for the office, number one, and a perk for me.
By the way, you just brought up something like, me, the whitest man in America. This guy he was a client at the radio station, and he wanted to do a commercial for his hot sauces, and he wanted a quote Mexican voice, and I was the only one that could go. So they had me do it, and I'm hoping that this audio just no longer exists on any computers anywhere, because I will be canceled if it ever comes out. But it was just me talking like this. Do you want the spiciest sauce in your mouth? I know I do. Ha ha ha. And I just I did a 30-second commercial like that, and then get with.
That's that who remember the Taco Bell had that little Chihuahua that talked like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quiero Taco Bell.
Yeah, it had a name too. I can't remember. This is
who did the voice? Was that Mexican guy from Reno 911? Did you guys watch Reno 911? Sorry, that just came to mind.
But I was jokingly going to say John Leguizamo, but I know it's not him.
Yeah, I forget his name.
No.
Yeah. Random fact.
We were as a family. We went out to Chi-Chi's. Okay, prior to going to a movie, and I actually remember. I remember the movie. Doesn't matter. But it's probably like 10 or 11 years old.
No. I need to know the movie.
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. But we're at Chi-Chi's getting family dinner prior to going to a rated R movie when I was 10 and my brother was 13, and which had some nudity in it. And I remember asking my father, it's like, what's a chimmy? He was like, chimichanga? Yeah. Oh, it's a deep fried burrito. If I had any semen in my testicles, it would have been ejaculated at that point in my life, because I just could not fathom the fact that someone opted to take a beautiful thing such as a burrito and dunk it in searing hot grease and then bring it out. Oh my God, I got it. Changed my life. Changed my fucking life.
As as one of the older civilizations on the planet, there's only so many ways that one can package beans, meat, and cheese in a tortilla. So you run out of options sometimes. Like some guy was eating his tortilla and his wife was like about to fry something. He was like, and just dropped it in. And his wife was like, "What are you doing?" Well, hold on, just wait. It came out, loved it. Chimichangas.
Right.
Yeah, that was the only reason to go to Chi-Chi's, was to get the chimichanga.
Give me a chimmy.
That was the Chi-Chi's was the first place I encountered fried ice cream as a child.
God.
And that also equally blew my mind. I was like, "What do you mean that?" I understand that ice cream is cold and frying things is hot. I don't understand how you're making that happen. Please bring me one. And then they did it, and I was forever changed.
This is how cheap my dad is. See, the Murr family didn't get dessert when we went out to restaurants, because we have ice cream at home.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I would always be like, "Well, we got food at home." It's like, and I remember it was one of the meanest things. In retrospect, I think he thought he was doing me a favor, but it was the fried ice cream, and I, of course, was enamored by it. How do you fry ice cream? I was like, "Can I get fried ice cream tonight?" Like, "No, we got ice cream at home." Like, it's not fried ice cream. So he actually got me up from the table because he saw somebody getting ready to put their fork into some fried ice cream, and he literally walked me about 5 feet from their table and let me watch them eat their fried ice cream.
Damn,
what a dick! Jesus,
that's next level dickery right there. I like it.
Fried some ice cream at home and thrown it at him on his chest while he's sleeping. Stroll down memory lane. Well, we'll see. We'll see if this migrates from Tucson, Arizona, over to the East Coast. And if it does, obviously we're going to jump on that train.
I can ride my bike to a Taco Bell, so I will abuse the shit out of this pass.
Yeah, but will you be able to ride it back from the Taco Bell?
No.
So this is another one that I wanted to hold off on. A UK-based teenager had to undergo emergency penis surgery after he somehow managed to insert an entire USB cable into his urethra. So the unnamed teen inserted a knotted USB wire. Why the fuck he would do that is beyond me. Which looks to be a standard USA to B into his urethra as a part of a, quote, sexual experimentation. So he's taken to a hospital. He said they tried to retrieve it unsuccessfully, pulled on it, started urinating blood. When he got to the University of College Hospital in London, the end of the USB cable was protruding from the end of his penis. So it said he later requested for further examination without his mother present. I don't know if the start of the examination involved his mother or not. At which point he admitted he inserted it in there to measure the length of his penis, triggered by sexual curiosity. Okay, Due to the positioning, the surgeons had to make an incision between his genitals and anus and pull the cable out. Wow. Yeah, and I saw the CAT scan of it. It's pretty impressive. This reminds me of the Jackass where Ryan Dunn stuck a micro machine or a one of those like little cars into a condom and then put it into his asshole, and then went to see a general care physician. Said he woke up from a party, blacked out, and his stomach hurt. But this kid, all it said was teenager. I can't imagine this teen being 13, 14, possibly, maybe older. I don't know, but it's like, all right, you know what? The ruler and the measuring tape just ain't going to cut it. All right, I need to see how long this puppy really is. What the fuck?
No, he watched, I guarantee, and this is the problem with porn being so readily available, is he watched some, like, anal bead compilation, and because he said it was knotted up, and he was like, ugh. What if I stick this down here? I mean, look, I've never, ever, not in my life, even thought about sticking anything down that hole. Not once. At no point did I think it would possibly bring me any pleasure at all whatsoever. So I do have to give him a mini golf clap for his tenacity and I mean, you gotta be driven to get a USB cord down your dick hole.
Yeah, I mean that you're like to a point where you can't pull it back out. I can't imagine how stubborn you are to be like, nope, still going, still got more slack. My dick's huge. God, and they talked about in the article about how scraping of the urethra could cause certain problems. They said they discharged him with antibiotics, like a couple. It wasn't nearly the what he was discharged with in terms of medicines or ointments or creams or antibiotics didn't necessarily match what I deemed to be something that could have been a massacre.
Well, I mean, they had to pull it out his taint. That's
a good point. Can you imagine? You can't, as a doctor, you can't tell him to look down. Like, look, this thing's going to get sucked in through your pee hole, like like the movie Alien when it goes into your mouth. It's like it's going to get pulled in through the other end.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah,
like I know I sent you this thing, and like it's just. I keep just like as you guys are talking about it, I was just running through it all in my head. Like, why, how is more anything like you said. You got to do some work to get a fucking full size USB into your pee. I don't care if you're Mandingo, like that shit. Mandingo ain't sliding that fucking USB in there nice and easy. Like.
Dude, that's a half an inch.
Look at it. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, unless this teen, like, okay, he's trying to figure out length out of sexual curiosity, unless this boy has a hog and he has a pee hole that's 3 times the size of...
He's totally not. He's not trying to figure out length. Like, there's no way he's trying to figure out length. I mean, if he is, it's stupid. What's he trying to get, like, the internal inch? To add to his tally, what is it? Like if it's that, he's got like micro penis issues and he's just trying to gain a little on the number chart. I think Murr's hitting it is that he saw some freaky deaky shit. He saw some shit. He saw some dude, some gimp tied up and a mistress like threw a steel rod down there and the gimp was like, this is great. He was like, wonder if that'll work with a USB cord. Probably feels about the same, right? And fucked it all up.
Whatever was within arm reach of his computer.
Yeah. It's like, I was like, all right, yeah, that'll work. Fuck it. We got plenty of those.
Poor kid too. And to think now, like I said, I've seen I've mentioned this on the podcast. I've seen a full-on castration where they reroute the urinary tract to what is around your taint, which is what he got cut into. I think of I don't even know if that's not at that point an ER doc, even a really sound ER orthosurgeon or someone who has seen some of the most obscure, obscene, ridiculous shit in their lifetime. That's one where they're like, yeah, I'm not touching that. I'm not getting anywhere near that. I'm not inserting anything. I'm not pulling that out. We need a specialist in here. We need the wolf. We need a ringer. And they bring in a urologist, and he's like, God damn. All right, we're gonna cut through the balls and anus, and we're gonna fish hook this fucker out, and the boy's gonna be uncomfortable for a little bit. Anesthesia him up. And it makes that sound too when it comes through.
I mean, not that like you brought up the Steve-O thing, like not that putting things in your butt's not a risky game, but I feel it's just way more risky. You know what I mean? It's not whatever's coming out. It's not coming out as easy. The butt's an out hole. It's kind of made for things to come out of. So you'll put something in there to come out eventually. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just no. This is bad. I don't know. That's why when I saw it, I had to send it to you guys. I was like, oh my God, I don't even know how to fucking process this in my head.
Do you think the urologist cut the length and was like, this long, buddy? Here you go.
Maybe.
Give him a number. Just give him a number. Give him a number he can go to school and be proud of. That's all he wants. But as far as the butt thing goes, like, think of the biggest turd you ever shit out. Like, you know, like you got a little bit of room to work with. You scan around your room, like, yeah, that'll fit. What's come out of your penis? It's liquid.
Yeah.
There's no real size or shape to it. It's just like whatever stream you've got is based on the size of your hole.
Yeah.
So
the hole's real elastic, man. You know.
That's right.
I've seen humans put obscenely large objects into their buttholes. I have not seen equal size objects go into penis hole.
Your urethra doesn't necessarily have the elasticity as your anus, and yeah, that's then again you're starting. I hope this young man recovers fully, because when you start scraping innards like that, and I'm not talking about. I don't know, man. Scar tissue and that type of thing doesn't necessarily heal back to what it was when you came out the womb, or before, just before jamming a USB in your pee hole.
yeah.
And do you fucking like piss all wonky now? Like, did you do some irreparable damage?
Do you piss all wonky?
or have you now messed up like the pressurization of your jizz shots? Like, does it just fucking fall out of you now?
Some girl when he's in college is like, what the fuck is this? Like, oh, well, when I was 13, I jammed a USB in my pee hole, and
now it just oozes out. It's terrible.
We aren't doctors, but we'd love to take a look at some more of the middle class holes.
And welcome back to the Middle Class Holes. Alan, Foxman, Murr. I try to switch that up every time. Sometimes I forget what I said before and what I said, in previous episodes. But whatever. I don't care. Fuck y'all. Murr, you had brought up some of the stuff that's happening in your child's life. Not presumably, but more importantly, him as an elementary schooler. Right, and this wellness center and some of the other crazy gadgets that they have going on to make these kids' lives better. So a high school out of Boston, Massachusetts, was forced to use a party bus that was equipped with stripper poles to transport students on a field trip after an ongoing national bus shortage, which I didn't know about. It says. Left no other options. Quote, this is from the teacher who organized this. The entire day was, in fact, a phenomenal experience for all the kids. They didn't really care about the bus, and a lot of great planning by a lot of great people made for a fantastic day. Quote, he added, when you promise hundreds of kids a fun day with their adversaries, you make it happen, he wrote. So there's no buses. They can't figure it out. He's like, fuck it, man. We're getting a stripper bus. We're getting stripper poles, lights, whatever we can to get these kids from A to B. A couple of the kids didn't even know what it was. I'm wondering if that's bullshit. I'm wondering if they're lying about like, oh, hey, Mr. Thompson, what's this pole that goes from the top to the floor to the ceiling? Well, that's stability. That's structural integrity of the bus. Your thoughts on the stripper bus party that happened in outside of Boston?
I look, like you said, man, whatever you need to do to make it happen, you make it happen. But there is a bus driver shortage. It all has to do with COVID. Mm-hmm. Like, I think because there was such a bus driver shortage, a lot of these bus companies had to sell their buses to, like, pay the drivers that actually were showing up to work. So there's just no way to get these kids around, especially for, like, extracurriculars and shit like that. So they have to get these, I guess he just had to get a party bus. But you know, as well as I know, that there's a couple of kids on there that do exactly, that's where my mom works. And knew exactly what was going on. The thing is, this poor teacher, he shouldn't have posted it on social media. I mean, he just shouldn't have.
Great point, by the way, and I will say no more.
He just shouldn't have. He should have just been, like, grateful that this company was able to provide him with the ability to transport these kids from point A to point B. But he is getting raked over the coals. He had to put, like, some big apology out on Twitter. I think he shut his Twitter down for a point. He just made some, like, all right, guys, like, enough. I get it. But do you get it? Because you didn't get it the first time. For somebody who's supposed to be educating the children of the future, you sure put a fucking real bonehead maneuver out there on the fucking world of the internet.
Yeah, I mean, do you do that with the hopes of maybe you become social media famous? And then like, well, maybe I get to leave this teaching job behind.
No, you do it because you just want some attention. And I think it's innate, and I think it's like this dormant need for look at me. I don't know how old this teacher is. I mean, he might be 25, for God's sake. Right. I mean, he did have apparently a stripper bus on speed dial. So they would get a hold of it rather quickly. But
hey, Tom, how'd you make that happen so quick? Oh, the Yellow Pages. The what?
My girlfriend's going to the university down. She needs anyway. But people overshare. They overshare. We live in a world now where you have to share this really odd yet cool yet probably slightly criminal thing that you were able to pull off for some fucking underage children.
Wait, so hold on. They were high schoolers, right? Let me just back up.
Yes, a area high school outside of. It doesn't say in or outside, just as Boston, Massachusetts. So we'll leave it at that. Whatever.
Yeah. They all knew what it was. It wasn't just a couple of them. They all knew what it was. And Homeboy had to do what he had to do. It is, teachers go. America's teachers, the unsung heroes. Good on him for going out of his way. Not really out of his way, but figuring out a way to give the kids a good time. COVID's robbed us all. I'm gonna get sentimental on you guys. COVID's robbed us all of a good time for the last almost 2 years now. So good on them. Stripper poles, they're gonna figure them out anyway. You might as well get some experience while you're young. And then they know a reputable fucking company to call when they're 18 and 21 and 25 and 30.
That's right. I agree more with you about oversharing. Alan, I also agree with you about, hey, tough times calls for tough measures. So therefore, if you got to get yourself a quote unquote party bus to let your high school students have a good time, you do what you got to do. My question is, okay, either because I know even working for a private school, I had attempted to organize a field trip, and before you guys get all fucking disgusting about my intentions, I was going to take them to a television station, assholes, and I had to sign a waiver, and I was going to drive them in like one of the, those things that has like 4 bench seats. I always called them church buses, but they're essentially Astro vans that have a larger ass and another bench seat. And they jam four bench seats in them. So that required a lot of vetting for a private school that wasn't attached to any public school system. How the hell was there no vetting on this? Like, oh, Tom, you got the transportation? Yep, sure did. I'll have it park around the block though. Yeah. Not in front of the school.
No, that's exactly what happened. Is like, were you able to secure a bus? Yes, I was. What are you going to give them? That you're going to give your principal extra details, knowing full well that it's a stripper bus and there might be a problem. That's why if he had just kept his mouth shut, this wouldn't be an issue.
I'm not necessarily saying that like he kept his mouth shut. I'm saying that administrators in the school, what do you give the teacher a Q&A that whether or not they provided ample transportation? You look at the fucking bus. You go out and you see what the transportation is. You know.
Yeah. Go ahead, Alan.
I was going to say, to be fair, I've been on my fair share of party buses and other large transportation for weddings, bachelor parties, fucking bat mitzvahs, what have you. Fucking, not everyone from the outside looks like it might have a stripper pole in it. Okay. You could come out and look at a black, fucking nice luxury party bus, as they call them or whatever, and you'd be like, oh, look at that. That's nice. There's not necessarily a stripper pole in there.
Right.
But if there was one, I wouldn't be surprised.
It could have been one of those church buses that they gutted and decked out with some neon and some extra structural integrity poles.
Like I said, these clearly weren't cheese buses. You know what I mean? They rolled up with fucking tinted windows, and they could or could not have looked sinister from the outside. I do not think the principal's like going in and fucking, white glove inspectioning this fucking this fucking stripper bus.
Yeah.
He probably just got away with one. Like Murr said, he fucked it up. He shouldn't have done it. He shouldn't have social media'd.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been like a stretch Glade, and just because some of these stripper things, like they're picking up high rollers, and maybe from the outside you want it to just look like any other giant stretch limo, but on the inside, that's where you hide the wet naps and the frill and the lace and the neon. Hey, just Hey, Skeeto, don't turn on the neon when the principal comes out. Just leave that off for a minute.
It's not doing any black lights up in here. Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to go back and says it was advisories, by the way. I had a little bit of a mental typo when I was reading that, but God, dude, why post that? Why? You were fine. You were home free. After that, it's word of mouth. And you could tell, even if the kids say, they'd be like, no, it was
yeah, that's crazy.
It wasn't it did not have stripper poles in it. It had bench seating that was leather, and it was comfortable.
Yeah. It didn't have diamond plated flooring for fucking easy spray down. There's nothing like that. There was plush carpet. It was nice.
There was no cooler pockets for cognac and champagne.
The thing is it's all about branding. If he had come on and he had posted that he did this, but he posted it like, we can't even find school buses to take these kids to the aquarium. The only available transportation was, and then you name the company who provided it to you. And what kind of do they provide? They provide adult entertainment. Like he just put it like, hey, we got a stripper bus for the kids. You can't do that.
No.
Even though you should be able to do that, but you can't.
Can you imagine the driver who was like, yeah, we got a gig booked for you. It's 8 a.m. Damn. What's going on? Yeah, you're going to pick up high schoolers and take them to an aquarium. Wait, what the fuck? You kidding me?
I imagine like Paulie from the fucking Rocky movies. It ain't my first time.
All right, kids, no drinking, no smoking. All right.
You leave that to me.
Here's some candy to give to other kids. You throw it out the window. Well, good. Yeah, and just fucking lay off of social media for fucking 2 minutes, man. Good God, you'd have been scotch free. And I tell you, okay, this is a little bit of a side story here. So we and our legal correspondent, all right, and I won't say his name. If you want to know his name, listen or watch last episode from Asking for a Friend, who tackles all legal inquiries that you may or may not have, or your friends may have. Me and him, we were in a little tight-knit organization called Gifted and Talented. You guys familiar with that in elementary school?
I was in GT.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been, but I was.
So we took a field trip down to DC via the MART train. So we casted off from Perryville all the way down to DC, fifth grade, and me and Adam were teaching young girls that were our age that putting a V over your mouth and sticking your tongue out was the same as saying hello to each other, like we were eating each other out. And they did it pretty much all day, and finally got caught by some parent who saw it. Who taught you how to do that? Luckily, they didn't rat us out. I was like, God damn. And I remember I've told a lot of people that, and they're like, how old were you? 12. Or no, 11. 11? You knew that? You bet. Knew what that was. So these kids didn't know what a stripper pole was? Pfft, baloney.
Yeah, well, I mean, you had a brother. You're what? Dewey's what? 3 years older than you?
3, yeah.
Yeah, and see, I had a brother that was 5 years older than me. So, that's
so
the thing.
Alan's got 2 older brothers that are what and what?
11 and 13 years older than me.
Yeah, so you were real deranged in the mind at a young age.
Yes, sir, I was. it was kind of great. My mom was like, I was a nightmare because of them too.
Alan was teaching.
They trained me.
Alan was teaching kindergarten girls how to say hello to each other.
I did. There's a story that my mom loves to tell about me coming home from kindergarten one day, like stoked as fuck for getting put in the timeout chair. Like I don't even know what I did, but like came home like genuinely excited. Was like, Ma, check this shit out. There's a red chair. It's my favorite color. It's called the timeout chair. I got to go in it today because I did something bad. And she was like, that's not, why are you excited about that? I was like, because it's fucking sweet. It's a red ass chair. It's awesome. I want it to be my chair. They won't let me.
I won that chair fair and square.
Yeah. And she was like, yeah, don't do that. If you come home and tell me that again, I'm going to bust your ass. And I was like, oh, got it. I still got put in the timeout chair.
Just didn't post about it on social media. Tell your mom.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Shit. All right. Lastly, before Fun Fact Friday, Netflix and Apple finally broke old TV at this year's Emmys. Now, the Emmys got a lot of kickback because the celebrities weren't wearing masks, and kids got to wear masks to school. Maybe it's a good opportunity to tell your kids life isn't fair, and these are celebrities who make a lot of money, and they have preferential treatment. So, Queen's Gambit, The Crown, and Ted Lasso on the Emmys present how a lot has modified. Netflix nabbed the most Emmys ever for a single platform, with 44, including 11 for The Crown. Meanwhile, Apple TV Plus had its best Emmy showing yet, with 10 total. The landscape has shifted. The paradigm is different. Your thoughts on the Emmys and this subscriber world we're living in?
Well, the reason I wanted to bring this up was because, I mean, it's true. TV is dead. Like, nobody watches. What network television show is the highest rated show right now?
Mom?
The hell's that?
Who knows? It's probably that Bob and Abishola. I hate those fucking commercials. I don't even know what that show's about. I don't know. I just don't like that's the name of the show, and I don't know. It looks dumb.
Network sitcom or network something that could be but you're talking about something that could be nominated for an Emmy, right?
Yes, and I don't honestly, and I'm not fucking around. I cannot name you the Goldbergs. Is that a show that's still on TV?
I don't even think it's still on anymore.
No, it's not. Mom, which is
and what's her face and what's her face?
It's two. It's two female actresses.
Anna Faris and what's her face? Yeah.
Yes. I thought that was doing pretty well. They're coming out with another Wonder Years. It hasn't aired yet, but that's something to consider.
Is that on? I think that's on Peacock. I don't think that's actually going to be on network television.
Oh, so they only air it on network television in order for you to subscribe to Peacock.
It's not anymore that rank in the top. It's now like the top shit is like NCIS is up there.
See, that'll never go away. There's always going to be enthusiasts about crime mysteries and mystery, but that type of stuff.
But NCIS is a show that was on before streaming networks took over the fucking world. So it's still got that built-in audience. And once that goes away, they're screwed. And one thing I've learned about NBC creating this Peacock network is, and all the networks creating their streaming services, is they try their shows out there, and if they do well, then they put them on the actual broadcast platform. Like television's dead. There's no reason to like give a shit. I mean, Conan didn't win anything, unfortunately. He probably had the best showing at the Emmys, though, being a mawkish fool in the audience. And he's going to go to HBO, and he is probably going to start. He's finally going to start collecting these fuckers, I think, beginning next season, and it's going to be glorious. Like John Oliver won a bunch of Emmys. He's on HBO. He can be honest. I feel like network television has forced. This ain't Mayberry anymore. You can't pretend that this is how life is. And streaming platforms and pay television allows you to be honest. Like The Sopranos was like, that was an honest look at a different lifestyle that you couldn't show.
Yeah. Like
in the Disney format on ABC, CBS, NBC.
So here is, and I can't necessarily say that all of these are network, but we got SEAL Team, Home Economics, The Resident, Outpost, Clarice, which is the
Silence of the Lambs.
That's I think that's. Hold on, maybe I was reading something that was also Peacock. God damn it, I don't even know anymore.
So this is what I got. I just looked for prime time, like top ranked prime time shows, and like most of them aren't even real shows. So we'll just run down. This is top 10 for the Hollywood Reporter. So I feel like reasonable. Fucking 1 and 2 are Sunday night and Thursday night football.
Yes.
3 is This Is Us.
That's a good show.
Which I don't know what that is. I think it's a snappy thing that Kelly watches.
So it's it's kids that are grown up now, and they'll do flashbacks to them when they were adults, and they'll do flashbacks when they're kids.
There's that one guy with the jaw that's crooked.
Yes, and the
flashbacks
and the singer,
whatever. Yeah,
the singer. She was a
Mandy
teen.
Moore.
Mandy Moore. Yes,
Mandy Moore. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, got it. I know what that is. That's tied. That's sorry. This Is Us is tied for third with The Masked Singer. Okay. 5 is Grey's Anatomy, which is Christ.
19 years old, or right the 17.
No, like
seasons.
25. 6 is The Bachelor and The Bachelorette tie. 8 is 911 and the eighth place tie is 911 and the Equalizer.
No idea.
And 10 is Chicago PD.
Wow.
Right.
So all crime dramas or reality television. That's all that's left for network TV.
Yeah.
And I agree that shouldn't be streamable. Like it doesn't make sense to put that on a streaming platform.
And like you said, so just to further drive home your point, like 11 tied for 11 is 4 of them. Law and Order, Organized Crime, Chicago Fire, 9/11, Lone Star, and then tied for 14 in the next group is another 4, which is Law and Order, SVU, Chicago Med, and then Big Brothers, Big Brothers.
Jesus Christ! This Is Us, and that's it. And it had a 2.0, which is not like exactly setting the world on fire in Nielsen's ratings. I don't know if you guys know like the litmus of that. A 2.0 share is. I mean, it's you're still doing well. You're still making a
Number
fair amount
one
of money.
is Sunday Night Football, and they're at 4.7.
Yeah, dude. Rob Lowe was doing an interview, and he was talking about how the first network TV show he was on, they were in last place and got canceled, and they were pulling 16 million viewers a week. 16 million viewers. The Big Bang Theory, which was like the number one show on television for 10 seasons, was only pulling 9 to 10 million people a week. So he got canceled for a show that had 6 million more viewers and probably 100 million less people in the country at the time. So like that format is dead, just like broadcast radio is dead. Broadcast television's dead. Like they're not going to survive until like the FCC doesn't exist. And the only thing that's worthy of broadcast television is like your local news, if you give a shit. Or you could just log on to Facebook and see what everybody's saying about what happened down the street.
Yeah, because local news is just fucking, state fairs and fucking what fucking Fox 45's been doing. They did a crab cake challenge. They sent poor traffic jam Jimmy all around the goddamn state eating crab cakes. Fucking You know, they did. I think they did the same thing with Wings because they just rinse and repeat. Yeah, man. Even fucking local news is trash.
Yeah, I can remember doing on the scene like remote broadcasts and things, and just thinking like, do people buy this? I don't need to be here. I can just tell you what's happening from anywhere. Like, you don't give a shit that I'm standing where it's happening. You just want to know what's happening. Why are we doing this? I just feel like at one time, it was necessary to be live and local, and now no one cares. But that's just how it's always been done. So they haven't given up the old reins yet. They don't know how to survive. Just like the music industry, like they didn't adapt when the internet popped up, and they fucked themselves and artists over.
See, now you just get what happens is they send like the fourth meteorologist on staff who they don't really have work for. They like send him or her out to do a fucking spin class in the pool at the Pendry in Fells Point. And this guy's just, hey guys, this is Brad coming from the Pendry, and he's miserable and he doesn't want to fucking be there. And that's local news. That's all you get out of local news now.
Yeah. I mean, if you sports all day, this is going to be a sociological and economic disaster. You might as well have all day weather or cooking, whatever, something. Shit. Well, yeah, I agree. And the Emmys last night reflected what we're all thinking. This network, if it's not sports or I'm going to say sports, football for the most part, some sort of crime detective thing. This Is Us, Bachelorette, and which kind of kills me. The Masked Singer kind of kills me because I like outside of sports, I'll Guys Grocery Games, Beat Bobby Flay, or Chopped is usually up there. Then it's Bob's Burgers. Rick and Morty, and then maybe like another few. Then after that, I usually like dip into Netflix. So if
we don't even have television, well, I mean, no. We have Hulu Live, but even that we've been like, we don't even watch local news anymore. So like, what do I use it for?
Well, the most enriching television shows I've watched in the last decade have all been from a paid service of some kind, whether it was HBO or Netflix or Disney Plus. I mean, like The Mandalorian. Like, basically, subscription television has stolen away from both sides because it was either TV or movies. And now subscription services are both TV and movie, but they're not TV movies. They're movie quality television. You can't compete with that. And they're making so much money off of it, and there's no advertising. Like, the old way is 100% broken.
100? I mean, you're still getting good ratings.
No, the Survivor. Here's what I want to see. Survivor comes back in a couple of weeks. I want to see what its numbers are, because to me, that's the best like reality show available, because it's also a game show and it's a primetime show and it's a competition show. So it's like it straddles three different genres, and it's still on broadcast. I want to see what its numbers are. Right. And if that thing doesn't do well, then TV is completely dead.
Your litmus test of whether or not television is dead hangs in the hopes of something that has like 44 seasons.
Yes,
fair enough.
and it's called Survivor, so it makes complete sense.
If Survivor doesn't survive, then we're done. That's not a bad litmus test. All right, well, Mr. Murr, I think you know what time it is. And also, don't forget, Pete Sampras also bailed from the 91 Australian Open because of one of our sponsors. Go ahead.
That's right, because shin splints are a real ailment that many, even professional athletes, suffer. So if you need some reprieve from your shin splints, make sure you find a group of people that are just like you, pussies. Find the Shin Splints Recovery Group online on Facebook, the sponsor of tonight's Fun Fact Friday. I've got 5 fun facts for you fuckers right now. Starting with this one, did you know, in the time it took me to read this, approximately 15 people died, but more than 30 babies were born?
So we're at a 2-for-1 state now?
Yes, we're at a 2-for-1 state, mainly because of China and India, and probably some other third world country out there just hanging and banging them.
I thought China went to a one child per couple.
No, they fucked up, and now they want 3.
3, God. Well, the Chinese are getting it in. You know for a fact. I mean, Christ, they're like 1.4 billion at one point. I know India's a billion. I know China's 2 billion.
I think they're 2. I think they're 2+ now, 2+ billion. Jesus and yeah, they messed up so bad with the with their mandate before, because it was like no girls. They wanted boys. Well, now there's not enough girls for the boys to bang. And so now they want 3 to, put an extra 33% of the odds of having a chick again. And so they can, move on with taking over the fucking world.
So 2, I did not know it was 2-for-1. Well, shit, man. I guess the rest of the world's getting it in. And, did you know that like 100 years or 150 years, we're all pretty much going to look the same?
In 150? I think it'll take a little longer.
Probably longer than that.
Okay. Yeah, 1500. I may have missed a 0. I don't know.
Yeah. That's kind of a long time. It's kind of a long time to miss.
I don't think it was 1500. I legitimately think it was a couple hundred years.
Like 15 years.
Yeah,
15
years from now when I'm, pushing 55. Yeah, fair enough.
Well, we'll all be just gray, won't we? Or just like light tan, like a medium tan.
Tan and fucking sexy as shit, Alan. God, you see these mixed girls walking around. I'm like, God, that's a fine human being right there.
Yeah,
you're welcome, white folk.
The Colonel approves.
2-for-1. No, I did not know that. That's interesting, though.
No, but it is amazing to think. I mean, I'm actually surprised that it's that limited, to be perfectly honest with you, because there's what's the global population at? Like, it's almost 8 billion at this point.
Seven, and I feel like 7.6, 7.7. Yeah.
Yeah, and so out of that many billions of people, 15 die in 5 seconds? That seems like a low number. The mortality rate is it's on our side.
15 people die in 5 seconds. Well, I'm glad you're optimistic. Glass half full over in that case.
That's a lot of people. But
did you know children who are the youngest in their classes are more likely to be diagnosed with ADHD? Studies around the world have shown that kids who enter kindergarten right after their birthdays are at least twice as likely to be diagnosed, suggesting that a lack of maturity is often being misinterpreted as ADHD.
Well, I mean, I don't doubt it. It's the fall birthday kids who enter kindergarten at 4 years old. Yeah, I mean, it's sure. I didn't know that they're oftentimes being, because I tell you, I have a fall birthday, but I started late. My friends will tell you that I failed elementary school or kindergarten because they're assholes, which isn't true. But totally 100% not fucking true. I'll kill them. I'll kill anyone. I'll fuck anyone up to say that. But what was I saying? I lost my train of thought there.
I have a diagnosis for you, by the way.
But yeah, I mean, I could certainly see like someone at 4 years old going on 5 within the first couple months. Yeah, I mean, your neurons aren't firing on all cylinders, so therefore there's like, he or she doesn't pay attention enough. No, you're just not that. Your brain's not 100% there yet.
Yeah, well, I just find it like. I don't know. It's almost criminal to say like just let's shove some fucking pills down their throat.
Yeah, right. Let's get them hopped up on some concentration drugs.
That's right.
Let's get that ivermectin in them now.
just machines, baby. Let's do it.
Yeah, no. My mom and I were having this conversation, and she was just like, "Well, he's a little rambunctious, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well," like that long, like ellipsis after "well." I'm like. Well, I'm not shoving any pills in his throat. If he fucks up in school, he fucks up in school. Like, I'm not fucking dulling his senses because he can't fucking pay attention in first grade. Jesus Christ. It's this simple way out.
John, all right, we'll move. John Candy said it in Uncle Buck about being a dreamer. Go look that up. And he tells the principal to find a rat to gnaw the mole off her face. It's a great scene.
Yeah, I do remember that. Moving to something a little more lighthearted. Did you know in Gloucestershire, England, thousands of spectators gather once a year and watch people seriously risk injury to chase an 8-pound wheel of cheese, a double Gloucester cheese, by the way, down a very steep hill? Have you ever seen video of this?
I've seen video of people doing the race where they just simply run down, not where they're chasing a wheel of cheese. Alan, you have.
Yeah, no, this is a specific one, isn't it? Where did you say it was?
Gloucestershire. Which is that was host of one of our bits a few months ago. I'm not going to remember what it was, but I remember saying that, thinking like, well, that's a fucking stupid town.
Yeah, no, there's a documentary. It's like on Netflix. I'll find it and I'll let you guys know. There's a men's heat and a women's heat, and it is fucking insane. I'm pretty sure the girl who won it, like the last, whenever this was, it was probably like 2017, 2018. She ate shit in the middle. Like most of them do, you eat shit like in the middle of it, and you kind of like controlled roll yourself down this fucking hill. For the rest of it, she like dislocated her shoulder or like broke her clavicle and just kept fucking rolling like a rag doll and was like, I won this fucking stinky cheese and some money, I think.
I don't know if you can see the angle of my hand, but the hill, Wes, is like that.
Right.
It's one of those ones where like your knees can only take the step forward for like, if you're a prime athlete, you can maybe get 15 steps before you just fucking topple. Okay. Like there's no way. You look at it, an asshole like myself looks at it and is like, I could do it. No, even Usain Bolt would be fucking like on his forehead like 20 steps in.
Well, like I said, I don't know if it's like the Scottish. It's definitely not the Scottish game. The Scottish games are a little more brute force things. But I have seen. I don't even know like it's almost. I have seen instances where it's races down hills like that. And they fuck up, but I haven't seen them chasing a wheel of cheese, which obviously intrigues me because it's like, all right, okay, and release the hounds. Whee!
Well, here's the thing, though. This might be exactly what you're watching, but like a wheel of cheese successfully navigates the hill pretty easily because it's a wheel.
Yeah.
And so all the clips that you're seeing are just people eating shit, and the wheel is safely and securely at the bottom of the hill by the time you see them fucking falling on their face.
Yeah, I mean, did you pull it up? You should check it out.
I will in a minute. Go ahead.
Yes, do that. We will end the show with people fucking eating their teeth.
Yeah, it's a Benny Hill music.
Did you know I taught this to Wes after the show last week, Alan, so he's not going to be as impressed by this. But did you know the extra lace hole at the top of your tennis shoes serves an important purpose? If you insert the laces backwards to make another loop and push each end through the opposite hole before tying the knot, it creates a lace lock that causes extra friction on the laces at your ankle. Then your shoes fit better and won't cause blisters on your feet, and your toes won't jam into your shoes. I learned last week that I have been lacing my shoes improperly for the last 40 years.
Yeah, this is like a life hack thing that Murr looked up and then was like, ooh, look, I gotta show you. Check this out.
So wait, can you explain it one more time for me? Because
not only is he going to explain it to you, he's going to show you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so now my shoes are laced up.
Hold on, mind you, before he explains this, he was doing yoga in the wellness center, so he's a little bit limber tonight.
I took my shoe off this time. No, I learned my life lessons there, Wesley. So, Alan, you see at the top of your shoe, you have. I know I wear black shoes. You have the hole where this thing comes out, and then you have that little hole that makes no sense right underneath of it, where you actually take the shoelace and you lace it backwards through that hole, and then when you pull it through, boom, it makes like a little teeny mini. Now that they're locked. That thing won't come undone. Yeah. Even if you tie your shoe and your shoe comes untied, it won't fucking slip off your foot.
Yeah.
Why have they?
I did not know that was the intended purpose, but I have done that to shoes before. Not all my shoes, but it makes sense.
I have a hunch. I feel like this is like an engineering thing where they say, like, look, I'm going to do this, and this is going to be the smart person code crack. All the imbeciles and idiots and morons and people of IQs of 100 or less aren't going to know, and always going to be like, what's that for? And they'll never figure it out. And there's a lot of this is done before the age of the internet. That's my case. That's my theory.
Yeah, but I mean, it just makes some sense from I guess a physics standpoint. Like once you do that, the tension on it becomes such that you're not going to loosen it. Like,
But
it makes perfect sense.
But the thing is, how many fucking Buster Brown shoe stores did we all go to for the first like 20 years of wearing shoes that they never taught us that this is how you properly lace this thing? And we're talking about the last mile here. We're not talking about like, well, this is how you make a back and forth crisscross lace. No, this is everybody figures that part out. It's that last little hitch at the end that they just deleted from the fucking manual of shoes and allowed me to go through a fucking fun fact calendar to figure this thing out. I'm equally amazed and mad about this.
Yeah, I can tell you, I don't know how many Buster Browns I went through to figure that out. It beats me.
All right, fuck you, Wes. And finally, did you know the Golden Gate Bridge was almost painted with bumblebee stripes? The plan was to paint it black and yellow to increase its visibility in the fog, but when the steel beams arrived, they had been primed with international orange, and the architect decided, it looked better that way.
Jesus, what a good mistake.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's iconic. We're going to make this look like a giant taxi cab. Who the fuck thought of that?
Okay.
Terrible idea.
Though aesthetically, I think I agree with you, but I've never seen it in bumblebee stripes, so I don't know. Maybe it would be equally iconic. But the thing with the bumblebee stripes is it the fact that it's more visible for planes who might accidentally run into it in thick fog in San Francisco, or the ships who might actually, I don't know, smash their hulls into the thing. But this is what I think happened, and you're a project manager there, Wesley. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. The materials show up, quote unquote, good enough.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, as a project manager, you have to inquiry at that point to the stakeholders and say, like, "Hey, look, this is what happened. People have been
look at all those terms he just used.
People are ranting and raving about it. We certainly have the capability, the resources, as well as the paint and the manpower hour. We've budgeted for it to paint it, but look, we could save a lot of money just based upon an initial inspection." Like, hell yeah. As soon as you get stakeholder thumbs up, fucking A.
Yeah, and I can't imagine what the paint on the Golden Gate Bridge would cost.
Is that primer, or it showed up painted? Like, because the upkeep of that, primer or not, you're starting to paint it every like handful of years.
No, I actually know another fun fact about this. It was primed. So yes, it was primer paint, but it was primed in international orange, which is what other countries use for their visibility requirements. The Golden Gate Bridge takes approximately 1 year to paint. So they literally paint it every year, but the year at the front end is 1 year old, whereas the paint at the other end is fresh and new. So as soon as you put the last brush of paint on the last end of the bridge, they start over again. So every year they just go right back to the beginning and start painting again.
That's got it. I mean, the longevity of that job's nice. You know, if you can stomach heights, you know, but in terms of job security, I dig it.
Yeah, and another fun fact about the Golden Gate Bridge is that over the years, the parts have been replaced so much that the bridge itself is no longer has a single original part left on it.
Christ, even the concrete bases?
Yeah, they've redone everything at some point in its existence.
Wow, that's impressive.
And that's the harsh environment too.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Yeah, that's a big fucking bridge.
I also I don't know if this is necessarily a fun fact. I think like 1 in 10 people who try to commit suicide live because it's just high enough.
Well, they have a netting on there too now.
To stop people from doing that. Well, that's good.
I'd be mad as fuck if I just wasn't paying attention and I landed in some net.
Fuck. What am I, a trapeze artist?
Stuck here now.
Well, that and if I had the balls to actually jump, and then I'm like, God damn it!
Right. Then they tow your car. You got to pay for that.
Somebody comes and looks around and doesn't see anybody. They look down and don't see anything. Like you're stuck in a very specific portion of the net, and nobody comes to get you for like a day or two.
I'm getting off this bridge. Is this what you were talking about? Here we go.
That, my friends, is Fun Fact Friday, and here's some Gloucestershire fucking cheese wheel chasing.
Oh no, you got to just start it at the top, bro.
Oh God, I saw that lady's tits hit her knee.
Yeah.
Oh damn!
Like, I'm pretty sure this girl in the front, this girl that's rolling down right here, like she's the king. She's the lady king.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure like this is the one where she like broke her entire arm, her whole arm off of her body, basically.
Here come the men.
There you go. See, that's why you don't see the wheel. See the cheese wheel bouncing at 100 miles an hour.
It down there, no problem.
Yay!
And people just stand up concussed.
Jesus, that guy's Adidas track shoot went straight up his taint as soon as he hit the ground.
Yep.
Ugh. Fucking hell.
Yep.
You want to see a dead body? That's what that was. That guy was just dead at the bottom of the hill.
Right.
This shit's wild, man.
All right, Alan, where can you find us, brother?
On the internet. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. No.
Middle Class Souls. Take care.
Middle Class Souls. Y'all know, man, as always, you can find us on your favorite social media platforms. We're on Facebook as The Middle Classholes, and you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at MDL Classholes. And then for your listening pleasure, your ear holes, that is, you can catch us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and of course, YouTube, and our favorite mode of communication, email. You can email us at tickleourtummies. That's tummies plural at gmail.com. Tickle our tummies.
And we do have some emails to get to there, Wes.
Multiple.
Yes. We might just be doing one this week, but Keith got a hold of us and he had some questions about goalball. If you don't know what goalball is, that's the Paralympic sport that Wes just thought was for idiots wearing blindfolds that wanted to compete in some capacity. Keith says, I had a couple of questions that I think you should investigate regarding this. Is there a referee? Is the ref blind also? And refs the game by sound? I can imagine fans complaining, fucking ref must be blind and missed that call. Also, how do teams know when a goal is scored? Does a horn go off or some type of buzzer to let them know? If you could all play a match, I hope you either invite listeners or record the match and upload it to your wonderful YouTube channel. I'd love to see that.
That's a very well-written email, and I appreciate that. No, Keith, unfortunately, I don't have all the rules. My assumption is that the referees are those who are, overlooking the game from a rule standpoint, can have all their senses about them. How goals are alerted to those players, that I don't know. I think it might just be crowd noise, but who knows?
Yeah, there's tens of fans that erupt in, joy when a goal ball is in the goal.
When a goal ball is gold.
Excited coaches get really excited, and then everyone knows that's the cue. But you sometimes can't decipher which coaches get excited, so both teams celebrate. It gets confusing. I can't find anything. I know you have to be blind to play, but I don't think you have to be blind to fucking referee.
We're digging ourselves a bigger hole than we did 2 weeks ago about goalball in general. So,
no, I don't think goalball is actually a sport. I just think they let the blind kids go out and just throw some balls around, like "Good job, folks," and then they hand them a fucking cookie and tell them it's a gold medal, and they go about their business.
I think we entered the goalball world very supportive and in a positive light, and we've probably now exited it, no longer wanted in the goalball world.
Yeah, we may be blackballed in that sense. Yeah.
I'd still like to play it, but I mean, if backyard playing with friends. Like, I mean, what, the one person without a blindfold on is gonna, like, are they really gonna enjoy themselves? It's a bullshit game. It's made for blind people, so they feel included.
Well, you have
It's
to fall
fine.
around on the ground a lot, which is kind of silly.
Yeah, and the fact that you can't score high goals because you lay down so the ball can't roll past you.
You
Come
have
on.
to like kickball roll it. That's whack.
Yeah.
I should be able to fucking give them some high stinky cheddar up in the corner.
Yeah. A little four-square spiking every now and again.
Yeah.
Why build an upper 9 goalpost if it's just all on the ground? Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah, exactly.
Make the goal shorter. We do have another email, and this one is from Derek, everyone's favorite, Alan's favorite listener.
Fuck that guy.
Says, fellas, I always enjoy the show and hope that you boys enjoy it as well. A staple at our household right around 7 p.m. after dinner is we watch our YouTube subscription channel. You're such a fucking liar. Swear to God. Just the mockery.
He said it. It must be true. Come on.
Yeah. Anywho, wanted to see if you guys could throw in some controversial sports topics into the show. It's always fun watching you guys banter back and forth on opinionated type of stuff. For example, the ever-popular GOAT in baseball. Wes probably says Ted Williams. Maybe Alan says someone else. Then, boom, discussion ensues. Stats are thrown out, and Murr takes a puff off of his vape pen. Good times.
I don't.
It's like he knows us.
I know. In any case, thanks again for the content and giving me the opportunity to suggest some subject matter that I'd love to see you guys go back and forth on. If the suggestion falls on deaf ears, that's okay too. I still love you. So, I do think it would be interesting for you guys to come up with some of these sports topics.
Fun. Yeah.
Because I enjoy sports, but I enjoy the game. Whereas I feel like fellas like yourselves, like you enjoy like the minutia of the game where you really get into it and you know. See, I don't know statistics,
right,
but I know the feel of the game. I know the feel of a man coming out of the locker room.
Well, I tell you what, if you're if you're not doing anything this weekend, Friday the 24th through the 26th is the Ryder Cup. It's the team event. It's United States Golf against the Europe province. Europe continent.
Province.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, in my dreams, it's a province.
I immediately corrected myself. It's a team event. It's different from your mom and pop's traditional one on everybody else golf tournament. It's awesome. Check it out. We'll watch that. Then we'll chit chat about things. Damn, whose beeper keeps beeping and beeping?
It's not me.
You know it's you. That's why you're getting mad about it, so you can deflect your anger.
You know what? We're recording still. This fool messaged me. Was like, your shit's beeping. No, bro. I don't got nothing that beeps right now. Yeah, that's not me.
I'm too dumb to have multiple windows open.
Yeah, the only thing I have open is Podbean, and my session has expired. So I don't think that's happening.
Maybe it's reminding you.
I mean, all right, I'm going to close it. So now the only thing open on this computer is Zoom.
Let's hear this.
God damn it. Now I don't even know how to expand my screen.
Maybe it's right.
Maybe it is Murr.
It's not me. Shut the fuck up. And by the way, before we close out everything for the night, we have to wish old Mr. Wesley Fox a happy 39th birthday.
I feel so honored. Feel so good. So you were going to impart some wisdom in them on me. So go ahead. Let me have it.
Well, I started to write something last night, and then I just petered off because it started to become a poem, and I didn't want to do that. But I wrote 39, the final year of youth. Yes, in a mere 364 days, you, sir, shall be marching amongst the army of the middle-aged. A young man may say, that's a year away, but the aged man replies, as the years progress, the relevance of days reduces. The era of gauging one's mortality is no longer logged by repetitions or laps around a track, but by the enzyme levels and the talks about plaque. And that's when I quit, because I was like, all right, buddy, you've gone off the rails. No, happy birthday. No, 39, man. It is the last year of youth. I will warn you of that. I know a couple months before my 40th birthday, I decided I wanted to get into the best shape of my life, and I decided I was going to do just push-ups and push-ups and push-ups until I was able to do a continuous number of push-ups until I got to 100. I ended up getting to 89 in a row before I had some sort of muscular band from the back of my neck to the front of my head that gave me searing migraines that I had to go on medication for about 2 to 3 months, to where then I didn't work out again for another 2 years, to where now my bowel wall is apparently thickened according to a CT scan, and I may have given myself cancer by simply doing workouts on a Bowflex machine. So enjoy this year. It's the last one before your body turns against you.
You should have stuck with the body blade. I'm just saying. You should have stuck with the inertia. Could have worked out. Could have worked wonders.
Well, the inertia of life, Wesley, is about to catch up.
I understand. Yeah. Though I appreciate it. Got phone calls from my mom, my brother. Got a couple happy birthdays, and yeah, I'm not a big like, hey, let's celebrate my birthday. I'm not a big like spotlight on me person. I actually kind of enjoy the fact that it's I leave it semi-ambiguous, that because I want the people who actually know my birthday to hit me up when it happens. Otherwise, no, I'm not saying it's just another day. As a matter of fact, I had a steak dinner, and I'm going to go upstairs and eat a giant piece of peanut butter and chocolate cake. I'm going to go to bed a happy man tonight. That's after I finish off a few more beers. So, no, thank you guys. 364 more days until I'm 40. In which case, I'll start inquiring about my prostate getting checked, my blood work, my cholesterol. But I don't know, man. I got 364 more to fuck around. Alan, you and I will play some golf. We'll suck down some beers, and we'll go from there.
Let's do that. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, but what I will say is, I thought when I turned 30 that I would be treated like a man. And no, now that I'm in my 40s, I'm like, shit, you just started fucking like dipping into adult world. And no, at 40, I think you do start to get like respect, like as a man, like you literally now are a man. So yeah, enjoy the last year of youthful ignorance, because it's this year will be the culmination of all things. After this, you are who you are, good or bad, pleasurable or indifferent. It's this is it.
Now it's time to get serious. Is what you're saying?
No.
I meant a year from now.
No. I'm saying like whatever genetic code was fucking like juiced into your system, it's going to be written after this year. It's encoded permanently. Right. This is it. Whatever tweaks you want to make with the last 2%, this is the last chance you have.
I'm excited. Here we go.
Good to know. I still got a little window.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Alan, you've been the same for the last 10 years, bro. You've given up a few things, but for the most part, stay the same.
Yeah, you get what you get.
All right, folks. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Oh, yes, and one last thing. If you get caught producing, distributing, or purchasing a fake COVID vaccine card, I hope you get in a serious car accident or bike accident and sever your reproductive organs in half. That way you can't procreate, you piece of fucking shit.
And have a USB cord jammed down your urethra and pulled out your taint.
Yes, good night.